Welcome to Caught Offside, and this is the morning line. Bayern Munich, the board there feels that Vincent Kompany has huge potential to become a top coach for them, trusting in both his vision and his ideas. Positive impact was made during the calls on Monday, and Bayern want to get this wrapped up. Vincent Kompany himself has informed Burnley of his agreement with the German side, and he really wants to join the club. Negotiations ongoing between the two sides now, just over a compensation fee, all proceeding in order. An agreement hoped to be reached soon. I have no idea what the Germans are playing at here. Clearly, they feel something that perhaps others have failed to see. I certainly don't get it, but good luck to them. Arsenal, no concerns over a contract for Mikel Arteta. Year left on his current deal. He always goes away to Spain with the family after the season is over, and all energies and focus were on the title push. I'd expect this to be announced in due course. Arsenal told to look elsewhere, no two ways about it, in respect of Alexander Isak. The message could not be any more definite, says the Telegraph. Isak is not for sale this summer. He has 4 years on his current deal, and the club are already talking about an extended deal with improved terms. Absolutely seen as critical to their future plans. Howe wants to build on what he did this term that's just finished. He needs to, and getting rid of a player like that won't help him at all. Sources have told the Telegraph Sport they laughed in the claims of the media that they'd be willing to sell for 90 million, insisting it would take double that to get them to even pick up the phone and discuss it. I don't think they're actually saying they want 180 million for him. I think they're just saying they don't want to play ball, and they're going to make the price prohibitive. Will the player kick up a fuss and want to go the other way? I wouldn't imagine he would. A little footnote from history for you here. Oliver Giroud will retire from international duty after the Euro 2024. The quote says, "Obviously I'm going to miss it a lot, but I need to cede my place for the young players." Giroud will be 38 in September, God love him. On to Chelsea. Need to worry about the strategy at this club, you really do. 5 managers, is it now? And I think Poch was just kind of starting to win the fans over a little bit, and I don't know. And it might be the case that the owners of this club don't know either. Fabrizio Romano tells us that no talks took place between Thomas Tuchel or Hansi Flick and Chelsea, not even an internal discussion. Both German managers are open to a Premier League move, probably not a big shock in itself. Blues' internal process for a new coach is ongoing. Thomas Frank, Kieran McKenna and Enzo Maresca have all been internally mentioned at the club. It's an open race, which is coded language for nobody knows. They need to come up with something which I think is a little less helter-skelter and a bit more either build for the future or, has a bit more substance to it. It just feels like another football club, hello Tottenham, where the boardroom are acting at odds with the way that football ought to be, conducted. And again, Chelsea here with Brighton being linked, and Ipswich Town after guiding Town to back-to-back promotions. Kieran McKenna is suddenly in demand. Former Manchester United coach, only 38 years of age, is on the radar of Brighton, Hove Albion and Chelsea. He's the shortest price coach actually in the whole Chelsea goose chase at the moment. But I think this is pretty specious from my perspective. He's done fantastic with Ipswich. He's brought them back up. Is he really looking to upgrade in his first week in his new league? I just don't see it. I know it's the way the football press works, but I'd be stunned if he goes to Chelsea because, look, don't worry about the brand. We know the brand is good, but the last 5 years, you wouldn't want to put your CV in, would you? Liverpool next. They, again, are, a time of change, as they like to call it. According to The Guardian, Brazilian goalkeeper there has attracted attention of the Saudi Pro League. Despite the interest in signing him, goalkeeper wants to stay and work under manager Arne Slot. Journalist David Lynch has provided an update on the future of the Liverpool goalie. Another player who has been linked with a move is Alisson Becker. He says there is interest from him at several clubs, as one would expect. He's a box office keeper. And these are from sources close to the player. Those sources insist that Alisson's very happy at Anfield and he wants to stick around, usher in this new era under Arne Slot. He doesn't want to depart now that Jurgen Klopp has left the club. I wonder if we're reading too much into that, but who knows. Senior player, Liverpool dressing room, his presence is as important as Virgil van Dijk's. Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. Another one, I don't see why he would be, teased into moving. Manchester United, this is a bit doom and gloom, I'm afraid. Got a thing here, yes, here we go, excuse me, Stan Collymore. And boy, has he got this one right. Speaking to Caught Offside in his exclusive column, don't see anything in this United squad to trouble Manchester City. People throw up statistics about Bruno's creativity, but there aren't enough United players in form, and ain't that the truth? Whether it be their front three, midfield or central defensive pairing, or their goalkeeper, the easiest FA Cup final victory derby ever. And it's difficult to oppose the view. Manchester City 1.33. The bookies have Manchester United at 10. That sounds like carnage. Speaking of which, this has got to be a comedy item, surely. From the Daily Mail, Maurizio Pochettino, a leading candidate to replace Gareth Southgate as the England manager if the job becomes available following Euro 2012 after his Chelsea exit. Where to start with this? Pochettino is suffering from not having won anything itis, and would he be a good fit for the next man up to replace Gareth Wokegate? Well, let's think about it, shall we? I mean, I know the FA view football fans with such disdain and contempt, but appointing an Argentinian English football manager, that really is going some. Sanctimonious they are, but are they crazy? That perhaps they'll do anything to provoke a bit of disturbance on the terraces. Who knows? You can't put anything past them. Our old friends at Tottenham, Spurs striker search continues, I've written here. There's been a lot of stuff in the press about Ange, the Ange Ball revolution, and that he's going to, sell all these players and bring new players in. I won't bore you, as this is a generic channel, but if you started to sell the players that are actually worth a damn, to buy ready-to-go, oven-ready players, you're going to end up biting into players which actually aren't awful, like Bissouma, because the guys that are awful, and the only singular exception would be Joe Rodon, who is a great fit for Leeds, and I wish them well in their own incoming battles, because it'd be great to see them in the division again. That's the truth. But the idea that Spurs are in a position to do a major overhaul, I just find a little bit strange. Alan Hutton, who's a dreadful footballer for Tottenham, talks here about Dominic Solanke, could be the ideal fit for Spurs. Hutton says he scored goals, he holds the ball up, he links play, he's confident, he's really thrived at Bournemouth. I think that's a really big word, no disrespect to them, a really big word to focus on in all this drivel, Bournemouth, and could be the next step for him. Go to a team like Tottenham where he will be loved and he'll get the chance to play with freedom. I can see it happening. Yeah, okay, mate. I think the problem with this, and this is a lot of pundits and Tottenham Hotspur supporters, seem to think that there's magical attributes to a Spurs shirt, and you can take a mediocre player, put him in a Tottenham shirt, and wonders will appear. Not really the case, and history's taught us that again and again and again. And Fabrizio Romano echoes the same sentiments. And I can only say to you, how is it going to happen? I just don't see how it's going to happen. Where are you going to raise the money from? Tongi Ndombele is now worth 11 million quid according to Transfermarkt. But what do I know? Romano on Spurs, there will be a lot of movement around Tottenham Hotspur in the summer. Could see 8 or 9 or maybe even 10 players leaving. There will be signings, maybe 4 or 5. With European football, if Spurs were to progress any distance in the Europa League, how does that add up? You're going to get rid of up to 9 and you might bring in 5. They're going to have to be very fit and very good. And we'll just finish on a comedy item. These will be longer, but I was just conscious of getting this first one out in the morning. After all, it is called The Morning Line. Yeah, Jamie O'Hara, figure of fun. He's involved in a new dating thing called Love Undercover, and because the thing is here that you take a celebrity, if in the UK you take them to the United States, and of course they don't know who they're dealing with or they're talking to, and so O'Hara ends up telling some dolly on there. So I'm actually a really famous soccer player from England. He tells his brunette date in Thursday's episode. She said, "Oh, shut the fuck up," Ash says as O'Hara bursts into laughter. "This is a great start." Yeah, so he tells her that he's got this biggest radio show in Europe or whatever it is. But I'm sure that's not the first time he's heard that sort of language from a young lady. That's it for now. And a little bit longer, that's what she said. And I'll see you in the morning. Good luck.